So I apologize. I'm trying to adjust my camera. So I know it's here, but sometimes I want to look there. I don't know why. Um, while I'm waiting for you guys to come on in, I want to try to use my phone to watch the live so I can see my um sorry, just give me a second. Like I said, I am just like nope, I guess I have to do it the other way. Anybody here yet? No, no. I might have accidentally put in the wrong timeline, so forgive me. Come on, Jim. Come on, Jim. Oh, we got three people. Yay! Hello, guys. I'm just trying to get my phone up, my phone, so I can read the captions. So forgive me if. Come on. Oh, because that's the wrong button. That was studio. I'm not going to studio. How you guys doing? Wow. What am I doing? 15. Oh, wow. I jumped up real quick. Um, hey, Sheila. Oh, you're in Vermont on vacation. That's great. And there are times where I wish I can go on vacation, but I always seem to be, when I get back from vacation, I'm kind of like, I need a vacation from my vacation. Um, it's kind of hilarious. Um, so good. I have this set up so I can read comments. 23 people, good. I'm kind of happy. We're getting all these people, and I don't have anything to drink in here. And my hair is a mess, and my life is gone. My life today is just a little on the kooky side. Um, mainly because mainly because I woke up this morning and I wasn't feeling all that great. My stomach was a little like, "Rah," and I was like, okay, is it food that it needs or what? It wasn't food. It was just um, upset. Um, how my day? How was my day? It was good. We did get a lot of stuff done in the living room. We got it cleaned up. We purged a couple items that we no longer needed because we weren't using. We got, you know, the living room now looks a little bit more open because the coffee table that we were using, well, it wasn't really a coffee table, just this long bench with two shelves that had bars on them. Basically, it was originally designed to be a place to put your shoes without them just getting piled up in a along the wall or in a closet or something like that. And since we never use it for that and we had no use for it anymore, it was like, let's get rid of it. Who can we give it to? So we gave it to one of our friends um, because we found out that they needed something like that. So it was like, here, you take it. You need it. So otherwise than a rocky start because of my stomach wanting to be irritable, and I had drank a cup of coffee and I had a crisp apple bang. It was like a new flavor, and I wanted to try it. I love it. Um, just no matter what I drank for oomph to get up, energy to get up and go, it wasn't working. So um, later on in the afternoon, like noonish, I ended up I ended up getting some Mountain Dew, just two bottles, and after drinking a bottle, I was able to get a little bit energy going to do laundry. Tomorrow's still up in the air, but we're trying to decide what we're going to do tomorrow. William, how you doing? Hopefully I pronounced that right. That's what it looks like to me. William Dice. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Um, Otherwise, my day is just it's. I don't want to say it's another typical day. It's just one of those days where it's like, okay, the morning was rough, the afternoon got better. the evening, my stomach's trying to decide if they liked dinner. Thanks. I'm glad I pronounced it properly. I dislike it when I can't pronounce somebody's name, especially when they're new to my mind, my eyes. Um, so the weekend has started nicely, and I'm hoping things get better. Ah, James, nice to see you, my friend. Um, I bet it's beautiful in Vermont. I was going to say it's a cold day in my weather. According to my weather forecast, it's going to start getting colder. Um, yeah, I've heard Vermont is beautiful this time of year. Take a nice drive through Vermont, and you can. I mean, the colors, the changing of the colors in some of the forested areas are beautiful. I liked the one or two times where we drove through. We went upstate New York when we were living in New York, and the colors of the different maple trees and whatnot were just fantastic. That's one of the reasons why I do like the fall season. Even here in Missouri, we what was it? Yesterday, we were driving back from Jan's eye doctor because she thought she had a major problem with her eye, but she didn't. But we were driving back from the eye doctor, and we were able to see the changing colors of the trees on the hillsides and whatnot. Hey, Chris, how am I doing? I'm actually doing fairly well. I mean, I'm even though my morning was a little rocky because my stomach and whatnot was being problematic, I still had a good day. Yeah. Um, take some pictures. We have some blown up and framed. Yeah, a lot of the countryside up in that part of the world, that part of the country, has some beautiful things. Truly is. I think myself, Vermont looks most beautiful in winter. Well, William, I have to say, I've been to a lot of different places during the winter time, and I've seen a lot of pictures of like Norway and other parts of Europe during the wintertime, and I've never really seen Vermont during the wintertime, but everybody has their own opinion about different places that they've been to or live. Like William, if you live in Vermont, I am pretty sure you love it there all year round. Um, but I'm more of a mountain person. Take me to the Rockies. Take me to various places in Europe that I've seen pictures of. Um, but yeah, I love certain times of the year. I mean, I love springtime because of all the blossoms and all the flowers that are beautiful and whatnot. And then there's the summer. I'm not too fond of summertime because it's too hot. I'm a cool weather type person, but fall is beautiful because of the changing colors, and winter in certain parts of the world are beautiful because of mountains or places that look very beautiful and have um, different cabins or different houses. Like if you see an aerial view of certain parts of Norway during the wintertime, they're beautiful. It's gorgeous and whatnot. I mean, I've seen pictures of Oslo, Norway in the wintertime, and I've seen the aerial views during the wintertime. I've seen ground level views, and they're just spectacular. Um, Mountains, leaves, and coastal waters all at once. Yeah, um, Vermont is that way, from what I understand. So is not trying to downgrade America in any way, but so is like uh, what are the Oslo, Norway, Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm trying to think of all the pictures and places I've seen worldwide. Jim, what national park did you work in? Oh, that was Yellowstone, Sheila. Yellowstone was beautiful all year round for as I, you know. Chris, you're talking about Montauk. Are you talking about New York? 'Cause that's the only place I know of in New York. Oh, okay, William. Well, you have a good night. I'm glad you popped in for a short period of time. Um, let's see. Let me catch up to some of these comments. Somebody said something burr. Oh, I see. It's probably as beautiful but cold. Hold on, let me just scroll down for a second. Oh, okay. I caught up. Um, that's strange. My phone says 40 people chatting, and my tablet says 38. Um, I thought, well, I'm not going to say it because my father's old expression, thought shit himself. Um, okay, now they match. I think there's a lag between the two devices. But, um, yeah, I worked in Yellowstone National Park two different times. The first time was in the mid to late 90s, and I was working at Mammoth Hot Springs. Um, because Jerry Ann loving not having. Oh yes, Jerry Ann loves not having that brace on. I mean, ever since we got home Wednesday, we were smiling from ear to ear and just giddy as all get out. Um, Thursday I went to work, and when I came home, they had done a lot of rearranging and redecorating in our bedroom because she didn't have to use that commode no more. So the commode came out of the room, um, which is like yay because she's actually been walking herself to the restroom. Um, so that's been a really big like triumph for both of us. Um, but the real good thing about it is she's been able to do more of the things that she's been wanting to do for months. So now that she doesn't have to worry about that brace, the doctors have basically said no heavy lifting, no extreme hard, basically no heavy lifting, no extreme bending, no um, overdoing it, basically, because they are still worried about the lower part of the spine, and that's why she is going to get a CT or PET scan, one of the two. Um, does she think she will be able to do some crafting? Well, yes, she's hoping to. One of the tentative plans for tomorrow is if she feels up to it after today's chore or workout, however you want to put it. Um, if she's feeling up to it, we're going to go work in her craft room and clean it up a little bit so she can start start crafting. I think the Nachtwurst or no, they weren't Nachtwurst, were they? Yes, they were. They were Nachtwurst. We had Nachtwurst. We had some German sausage Nachtwurst for dinner, and well, I was a hungry guy and ate more than I normally do. So my the gas is starting to talk to me. So forgive me. Has she cooked you a good meal yet? No, she has not. Um, Lisa can cook. Well, she's fairly good at it, but I do most of her cooking right now, still, which is fine by me because I love it. I'm afraid that when Jerry Ann starts to try to cook, I'm gonna be like, who's cooking tonight? My mom does not cook though, so no, I only have two. Well, technically, I only have one that will cook for me. Lisa, I don't know if she would or not if she had to. Um, but no, I just worry about Jerry. So why is that you want to do a live stream? I don't. Southern Mama, I don't want to do a live stream with D. Um, After last week's live stream and then what she's basically been talking about or spewing, her bile, whatever you call it, I'm not going to do a live stream with D. Not unless she can promise me to stop talking the way she does about my wife. And I know she's rebutted by saying, I don't talk about you, I only talk about my wife. Well, I'm sorry. I'm married. Part of my spiritual agreement, let alone my actual vows on the wedding, the day of our wedding, was to protect her from anything and everything. That includes people who want to spew nonsense and garbage about her, which is exactly what Diane D, whatever she wants to call herself, does. Um, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I don't care. I'm not gonna deal with her. I'm not gonna talk about her no more. Let's see here. Um, so happy for Jerry Ann's progress. Love you guys. Thank you, Mary. James, my wife is in the hospital till our baby is born. Things are nuts in my house. James, I have never experienced what you're going through, so I can only imagine how chaotic it is to have a job, have your pregnant wife in the hospital waiting for the baby, and whatever else you're having to deal with around the house. Um, I can only imagine that right now you are not really worried about the upkeep of the house. You're more worried about what's going on with your wife and when are you going to have to run to the hospital for the arrival of your child. What is her due date? Oh, I'm talking to James. Okay, sorry. That's an interesting question there, Sheila. I would be interested to hear that too because that way I can properly congratulate you on the day of the child's birth. Um, got a bratty, cute 5 year old. Okay, so you're having to deal with your wife's pregnancy, her hospital stay, the house, your 5 year old, and your job. Yeah, I can see how that would be nutty, um, or nut. Um, but you know what? The 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 arrival of a new child. I've never had this experience. I've only kind of like felt the experience because of those I know who had children. Um, I can just only imagine what the woman, the wife, the mother to be, is going through with medical visits and prenatal and all the things that she has to go through while she's pregnant, and then hopefully if it's a natural birth, she's just given a slight injection to help her out, and then you know there's the baby. Um, yes, yes. Actually, I was going to do, and I'm probably going to do this tomorrow. Is I was going to write down. This is one of the things that I do. This is my practice. Um, some may say it's Christian. Some may say it's not. But if I have wishes and dreams, I write them down on a piece of paper, and when I go to do um, burnings, basically what I do is I take some sage and some other, excuse me, I looked at the wrong place, other good herbs, and I will write down my prayers and my wishes and whatnot, and throw them in there as the herbs are burning. It's a Native American thing, or a New Age thing, where we write down certain pieces of like prayers or wishes and whatnot, and we throw them in a fire. We believe that the prayers and wishes being burnt in the fire will, plus the aroma of the herbs, the sage and whatnot, will bring the messages and whatnot to the higher power, whatever you want to call them, God, the universe, whatever. Um, so yeah, I will add that to my prayers for the weekend. Um, so yeah. Um, I hope everything goes well for you, James. Um, I can only imagine what you're going through as a nervous father to be. I mean, it's like, oh yes, I can look at my 5-year-old and go, I hope I have another one that turns out better than you. I'm not saying that your 5-year-old is well, you put it bratty and cute at the same time. It's amazing how, especially girls. I don't know about I. You know, most of the people I know who have boys is like, yeah. Best thing to do with boys when they get to a certain age is kick them outside and go play. Tell them to go outside and go play. As for girls, it's slightly different unless your child is a natural born tomboy and wants to get in fights and rough it up with the boys because girls have it harder than boys. I know that much. Girls will have it harder for boys, harder than boys. Let's see here. Are you getting excited for your birthday? Any plans? I am getting kind of excited because it's like, one, I'll be 51, and I can honestly say that I've outlived my father, even though sometimes it's a sad thing. But at the same time, I can say, hey, I'm following my other cousins that have outlived their parents and outlived the family curse. As for plans, I don't plan anything anymore. I let things happen because I just don't know what we're going to be able to do, whether we're going to be able to afford it. I am pretty sure my wife will make sure that we, the two of us, or even all three of us, or whoever is here with us, um, go out to dinner together for a mild celebration. And as for anything else, you know, I don't know. No, we do not smoke pot um, because we haven't even tried to go out and get that special card, and they have not passed certain regulations here in Missouri. What we do have right now is gummies, CBD gummies, and they're good for relaxing our nerves and helping us fall asleep. But yeah, we do the CBD gummies. My wife said she's naming our daughter Jamie after me. Female version of James. My 5-year-old's name fits him. Chase. Okay, so you're gonna have a boy and a girl. I have a young cousin. His name is Chase as well. Yeah, pot is illegal in Jersey. They're trying to get here in Missouri right now. Um, Medical grade marijuana is legal. Recreational marijuana has not passed a bill. They are trying to pass the bill here in Missouri for both medical and recreational. And I will tell you this much: I'm not a smoker, but once they legalized marijuana, once they have full legalization of both medical and non-medical, um, I will find out what hoops I have to jump through just to get that, because I know marijuana is good for cancer, glaucoma, um, anxiety, depression. Well, I have to be honest with you. I don't know how much it would cost here in Missouri, but I know up there, like Jersey and New York, things are expensive all around, not just pot, but everything. Um, Hi, Jim. So happy to see you and Jerry receiving some long awaited positive health news. Yes, yes, Marie Adams. Hopefully, I pronounced that properly. Last name is easy for me to pronounce. Most of my in laws, their name is Adams. Um, Michigan passed, yeah, Michigan has passed the recreational and medical. We have never smoked pot in our lives, but now we take a gummy. That's what I do. Let's take a gummy at night. The CBD gummy. It's not the full strength CBD, but it's enough to help me put to sleep. $400 plus an ounce. Dang. Maybe I should, be looking into the medical grade because maybe my health insurance will cover it. I don't know. Um, but dang, $400 plus for just an ounce. Well, if they do it by weight, I mean, yeah, ounce looks like a lot if they're doing it by weight. I mean, I have 1 ounce packages of different or herbal things. Like, let me see here. What is this? This is actually a dandelion leaf, and this is half an ounce. You know, that's a half ounce of dandelion leaves. I don't think marijuana is much heavier than dandelion, but the way this world is nowadays, you can never tell. Um, Dandelion can be mixed with other herbs to create teas. Ellie B. Hello. Let's see here. That's almost more than a piece of price of gas. Yeah, $400. Yeah. Brat is hungry. Wants mac and cheese. Gotta go feed the monster. Closer to $500, really. You can grow your own. Oh, you can grow your own out there. Well, if you're good with a green thumb, yeah, I can understand. Let's see here. I believe it depends on the grade of marijuana for the price. Could be. Could be. Phyllis. Phillies won. I am happy camper. Back later. Okay, no problem. Phillies. Oh, football. I think. I don't follow American sports. What was for dinner today? Sorry, I'm like, oh, today's dinner was Nachtwurst, some Parmesan, Parmesan and butter noodles, and broccoli. I was gonna make something else, but I know I know Diane can't have sauerkraut because of her tongue, so I didn't even try to make sauerkraut. Mom's not a sauerkraut fan. The noodles were actually Jerry bought them down in Texas. They were gluten free Walmart brand pasta. Um, and of course the Nachtwurst. I can't remember where I got them. I think I got them at Kroger, or not Kroger. Excuse me, Aldi's. I have to go back and see if they have any more because I love German sausage. Nachtwurst, Bierwurst, Weisswurst, um, Kibasi. Mm. I appreciate that you share your normal everyday person personal stories. Um, you know, I think that I mean everybody has their own stories every day, and some of them might be just humdrum, dry, boring, and others could be very exciting and whatnot. Um, at first, when I started doing this, I was kind of afraid to, but then I would realize if I'm honest with people, if I just give it to them straightforward, all honesty, no trying to create stories or beating around the bush or all the other things that some people say that we do. Um, what is it worth? Skata, nothing, nada, nicht, nothing. That's why when I come on here, I am real. I don't try to hide who I am by putting on fake teeth that don't fit, or hurt my gums in the first place because I need new ones. I am who I am. People don't like it. Well, that's not my problem. I am who I am, and I will always remain who I am, no matter what people tell me. I have a niece that gets a month worth, including edibles, for under $100. Yeah, it depends on where you get it and the grade. Because if you get a low grade, it's not going to cost a lot. A lot. I think I spend maybe somewhere in between $40 and $60 on CBD gummies. I'm in. I'm in. Wait. I'm in a car takes me forever to text. I'll try to catch up next time. I'm just going to listen. That's fine and dandy, Chris. I mean, hey, at least you're trying to be here. Um, Besides that, I don't want you to be texting while you're driving your car. I want you to be safe. Um, Margaret Rose, what time in the morning are you at there in Munich? Because if it's what time I think it is, you should be asleep, girl. I'm happy you got came on, but Jiminy Christmas. Um, couldn't handle not being here. I'm back. Yeah, welcome back, William. I'm happy you came back. I didn't, hey, I don't expect anybody to stick around if they're not happy. But if you're happy and you come back, hey, I love it. Thank you very much. I don't make a big deal over it because everybody has their own lives and has to go do what they have to go do. Thoughts on favorite Thanksgiving dish? Well, that would be my area. That would not, excuse me, that would not be my area of expertise. Jerry is the turkey maker. I just try to help her out with side dishes and whatever else I can do to help her out, or follow her instructions. Because when it comes to a big turkey, I'm just kind of like, how long is this bird supposed to cook, and what am I supposed to do with it? I'm not a turkey maker. I mean, Christmas ham, that, yeah, I can make that anytime I want to. Sometimes we don't have turkey for Thanksgiving because not everybody in this house is a turkey person. Sweet potatoes and pineapple. Now, I've never tried to do that. I do. I have found recently that I do like sweet potatoes, especially if you get enough butter, cinnamon, and sugar mixed in with the sweet potato mash. Um, I'll eat that. But my favorite dish for Thanksgiving would be the green bean casserole with the French's crispy onions and that kind of stuff. Um, Tina, nice to see you. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I was pronouncing that. I had to roll it in my head. Tina. Um, but yeah, for Thanksgiving, it would be the sliced canned cranberry sauce and the green bean casserole with cream of mushroom soup and the French's onions. Um, so, but a lot of times when it comes to Christmas, or not Christmas, I'm jumping ahead. Thanksgiving, I'll eat just about anything that looks appealing. One thing that my in-laws used to make a lot of for the holidays, and I still don't like it to this day, is cauliflower and cheese. No, thank you. Broccoli and cheese, on the other hand, yes, thank you very much. But cauliflower, I tried cauliflower, tastes like dirt. I've tried my wife's cauliflower rice or rice cauliflower or cauliflower mash, which is basically cauliflower turned into mashed potato. No, thank you. Um, Not my cup of tea. In Scotland right now. It's only so William, you're in Scotland. It's 1 a.m. I'm sort of an early bird. I'm a midnight person. I like the late nights. This is when I have the most amount of energy and just get up and go. Uh, let's see here, Sheila. Do you think Lisa will stay for Thanksgiving, or will you have other company? Um, as for other company, I don't know. As for Lisa staying for Thanksgiving, again, I don't know. It depends on um, how she feels, what she wants to do, what her family wants to do. We've basically given her family open door to come and visit anytime they want to. We just have to make arrangements for where they sleep. How are the new house cats adjusting? They're fairly well adjusted. I'm taking care of them right now while Lisa's out of town visiting family. Um, so I have like my watch. I have a setting on my watch to remind me when to feed them their wet food, to constantly check their dry food and their water, when to scoop their kitty litter. But otherwise, they seem to be fine and dandy. Um, the easiest way to cook a turkey is to smother mayo all over the bird. Put it in a brown paper bag. Cook at 375 for 20 minutes per pound. No basting. That sounds very interesting, Mary, but my mother, who hates mayo of any kind, would probably not touch even her favorite parts of a turkey, which is breast meat, white meat. Yes, yeah, sort of in between. Yeah, I can understand that. Um, Mary, I have never heard of putting mayo on a turkey. Neither have I. Um, if it wasn't for my mom, I would probably try it, but don't think my mom would go for it. I will probably try that as well, Mary. Okay. You can't even taste the mayo. I have to bring that up to my wife because she's the one who's been doing the holiday turkey for quite some time now. At least since 2010, thereabouts, when my father passed away. Either that or one of her sisters. But sounds interesting. I mean, you would think the mayo would be like butter. You know, you smear it with butter and then you cook it, and the only difference is you don't cook it in a brown bag and you have to baste it every so often. So, I don't know. Um, oh, 60, no, 56 people. Cool. Um, I was originally coming on here as a Q&A night, but this is just as good. Pumpkin pie or some other dessert. I like a little pumpkin pie with my whipped cream. um, Pumpkin pie is, it's one of my favorite desserts for this holiday season. If this was, if I was living back with, I don't know about my in laws because I don't remember what kind of, they always got like from the Cheesecake Factory. Bring stuff from the Cheesecake Factory. But my family in Arizona, we would have pumpkin pie, we'd have apple pie, and then we would have some other type of pie. And usually, they would let me take home the pumpkin or the apple pie or both, depending on other people in the house. But I used to love taking leftover apple pie from like the previous night and slice me out, get me a nice slice out of there, and throw it in the microwave to warm it up, and then throw a scoop of vanilla ice cream, and then take whipped cream and circle that scoop of vanilla ice cream, turn it into a hot apple pie a la mode. Um, but love that pumpkin pie. The best in the fall, early winter, yes. Um, Smother my turkey with tons of butter. That's what we usually do. Is we usually we combination of um, butter, turkey gravy, and gravy master, or not gravy master, but some sort of turkey flavored, and whip together. Oh yes, ma. The German cheesecake you used to make from the recipe that we got from Germany was just, let's just put it this way: German cheesecake, authentic German cheesecake, is a diabetic's nightmare on a plate because it's that decadent. In fact, Margaret, you get a chance to get a slice of German cheesecake, go for it. And then have them put like the whipped cream that they use a special nozzle. Uh, what does German cheesecake have in it? Ma, you want to answer that or you want me to? Because it's basically a pound of sugar, a pound of, cream cheese. I can't remember how many eggs. And that's just the graham. That was just the crust. That wasn't, well, the, the cream cheese was part of the actual filler, but the crust alone is just like, yeah, lots of sugar. The crust had crushed graham crackers with sugar and butter. The filling was basically cream cheese, more sugar, more butter, vanilla. I think there was some vanilla extract in there. Um, no fruit, no, just cheese and sugar and butter. But like my dad used to say, that's a diabetic's nightmare on a plate. And we used to joke about it, not realizing my father's condition with diabetes, because we were like, yeah, diabetic take one look at the ingredients and pass out just from sugar coma. 5 eggs, pudding powder. Yeah, most German foods. Margaret could probably contest to this. Most German foods are very decadent and filling and delicious and sweet and just like you eat a nice good German meal, you might as well go for a nice 5K walk. um, yeah, but um, I'm kind of jealous, Margaret, because you're up there enjoying, Oktoberfest and Munich, Party Central. I like cheesecake, but in my opinion, carrot cake tops all desserts. I have a recipe, even though I cheat a lot, for holiday spice cake. And there's two ways of making it. One is just straight up a spice cake, and then the other way is it's a cross between carrot cake and a spiced cake. It's got shredded carrots in it and that kind of stuff. Um, Jim, it's almost 3 a.m. on Sunday morning, Munich, Germany. I didn't want to miss you going live. I appreciate that, Margaret. I really, really do. I don't know how you're going to get to sleep because, I mean, as soon as the sun rises, Munich can get, from what I understand, Munich can get very busy, especially during Oktoberfest. If you're in Munich, it can get loud, it can get noisy, it can get busy, and you might not get enough sleep. Of course, tomorrow it is Sunday there, so morning time might be a little bit quieter than a regular day because the German people are very. I don't want to say they're over religious, but they do go to church quite regularly and quite often. Um, yes, delicious yet different compared to American food. Um, I don't know if it's because of the way they make it or what, but yeah, it's an German. Sorry, my nose itch. German food, let alone most European foods, are have a totally different taste than what we make here in America and call it Italian or call it German or call it Korean or whatever. But it's good. What about churros? Churros are a nice dessert, um, but I've sampled cuisine from many parts of the world, not in their country, but here in the U.S. And even here in the U.S., compare Chinese food from New York compared to here in Missouri, and it's a totally different taste. And even the bagel are totally different. And everybody says it has something to do with New York water. And I was like, um, What's different about the water? You know, pizza, Chicago style or New York? Well, since I've never eaten pizza in Chicago, I can't really compare the two. I do love New York pizza. Like I was saying, something about the water in New York makes everything taste different, and I have not found anything that tastes as good. Jim, nobody ever sleeps here. You're right. Munich Oktoberfest, there is no such thing as sleep. Um, so yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay, you like New York pizza too. All right, yeah. Uh huh. Yes, William. You got a question? William, yeah. Never asked. Where are you from? Like state wise? Oh, you want to know where I'm from? Ah, all right. Get your seatbelt on. I am from everywhere yet nowhere, and I'll explain what I mean. I was born Clark Air Force Base, Angeles City, Philippine Islands. I do not have a citizenship of the Philippines due to what my father put in his packet for when he passed away. Granted, he passed away before I turned 18, but I never got the chance to make my own decision. It was automatically made by his agreement with the United States government. But I have been to multiple states. Let's see if I can remember all the states I went to when I was alive. And mom, correct me if I'm wrong. But the states I remember is Tucson, Arizona. Um, then we went from Tucson, Arizona to Little Rock, Arkansas. From Little Rock, Arkansas to Hahn Air Force Base, Germany, or as they would say in Germany, Flutplaton. And then from Germany, we went to Phoenix, where my dad retired from the Air Force, and then passed away a couple years after that from diabetes. And then mom and I came to Missouri for one of her aunt's funerals, and we were sitting under a real tree on real grass, going, "Why are we in Arizona frying our brains out because of the desert heat?" Oh yeah, it's just the dry heat. Yeah, that's what kills you. So mom and I decided to situate us Utah. Okay, yeah, I was a baby in Utah. I don't remember. That's why I didn't mention it. But we after the funeral and whatnot, we went home and we started getting our affairs together to move to Missouri because we were just done with the desert heat. Um, then um, I met Diane, went up to New York, lived in New York until 2013, and then we moved back here to Rolla, Missouri, where mom was living. Part of it was to be here for mom's benefit, and part of it was both me and Jerry were just tired of the big city. I mean, I grew up in different places. I never liked big cities, but she's a country girl at heart. So, yeah. Yes, Philippines and so many other places. Yes. Um, yeah, yeah, William. Like I said, I've had a nice, long, adventurous life growing up in the military, and just I've always, I mean, I don't know if I should blame it on the military or what, but I've always had a nomadic heart. So born in Canada, moved at 4 to Scotland and been here ever since. Wait a minute. In a way, I'm kind of jealous because you've been in one place most of your life. Um, I've had to learn at a very young age how to make friends, how to keep friends, know what kind of friends to keep, and there are times even now that I'm because of my upbringing, I sit there and go, I don't understand how civilian life is. Like I've explained on several different videos, I've been called many different names because of my learning disability, my ADHD when I was younger. I was called dumb, slow. I've been called when my dad got out of the military and we moved to Phoenix and got into school in Phoenix and told everybody on that first day of school where we just came from, people started automatically thinking my father was Nazi or some stupid shit like that because of their own arrogance or ignorance. Still to this day, I get called names, and I'm just like, really? No, that's the best you can come up with. If you literally walked a mile in my shoes, you'd realize that calling me names does not affect me. But because I am a loyal husband and I work my butt off for my wife and I will protect her from anything and everything, whether it's physical or otherwise, that's why I start drawing a line. You can say everything you want about me. I've heard it all. But when you go after Jerry Ann, who's now a part of my life, we're somebody said it once here on YouTube, but I say it a lot. I used to read a comic book called Elfquest, and in Elfquest, when two people meet and they're destined to be soulmates, they say when eyes meet eye, soul meets soul, and one soul, two bodies. And that's kind of what happened with me and Jerry, even before we met physically. Is just when we met physically, it was like that's it. I found the one. I don't need to look no more. Um, and that's how I am because it's like she's part of me. So when you go after her to attack her, you attack me indirectly, and that's like no. You wanted to attack any member of my family, come to me. Otherwise, you're gonna get yourself in trouble. I'll say that louder. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. Um, you know, let's see here. I gotta catch up real quick. I'm sorry. Uh, Sheila, how is you? Okay, how are you doing? Okay. William, I wouldn't say it's the best. I mean, Canada was just cold most of my childhood, and Scotland is cooler. Yeah, you have to, if oh my God, William, if you're an Elfquest reader, we just came buddies. We just became the best of friends. That is like my ultimate favorite childhood comic. Um, Hold on a second. I can't pull them all out, but let's see here. Where's that one that I really? There we go. That's not even the first one, but heck with it. Oh, shoot, that just broke. Oops. I got three of these, and it has its own storage case, and it literally has all the original Elfquest 1 through 6, I think it is, in the full size. Plus, I don't know where it is. It's probably in storage. Literally every comic they ever made, Elfquest wise, all of them, Hidden Years, the whole shebang. Um, and every time somebody says, "Ooh, Wendy and Richard Penny are doing something on YouTube," I'm like, "Ha! Get to watch Wolf Mom and Dad." Yes, I do call them that. I met Wendy and Richard Penny once at a book signing, and I have one of my comic books signed by them. Um, so, yeah, I can sit here all night and talk about Elfquest, and I'm actually trying to get off here in the next 6 minutes or so because I only wanted to do an hour tonight. But yeah, I am a big time fan of Wendy and Richard Penny. I wish I could find that tube because I have their 15th anniversary poster. Fang and Claw, I think it was called. I don't remember, it's so long ago. But hello, Frida. Hopefully that's right, Miss Wright. Um, exactly, William. I'm just like I geek out every time somebody says Wendy and Richard Penny or Elfquest. I'm like, and then I found out about a week ago that they did a audio movie where they have a bunch of different actors and whatnot reading the lines of the different characters, and they're doing like Elfquest from the beginning to I don't know how many seasons worth they're gonna have, but I'm just like every night. I mean, I literally fall asleep to it, or if I just feel in a bad mood, sometimes I would just play the next episode. Um, what part of Oz? Love Brisbane. Yes, my mom went to Australia, so she loves Australia. Um, but yeah, I mean, Elfquest is like one of those. I'm missing this comic, this comic, this comic. How much can I find it on eBay? Or how much can I find it from another, if another collector is selling an extra copy? In fact, I think if I can find the actual comics, I have several different extras on certain comics, from New Blood to uh, basically their other storylines. Um, but yeah, I can talk about ElfQuest all night long. Um, you know, um, that in fact, I'll start getting overly excited, start geeking out. Yeah, I broke it. Oh well, wasn't supposed to pull it out like that anyhow. But that's okay. As long as the comic books are still good, I don't care. ElfQuest's favorite and best book for me of all times. I won't disagree with you there. It is one of it's what was it? Somebody told me a couple of years back that they were going international, and some of the first places it was hitting overseas was the UK, Norway, Germany, and a bunch of other European countries. And then a week ago, I found out they're starting to make copies of ElfQuest for Japan and China. And I was like, what? They've gone that international? And yep, they've gotten big. They wanted to do an actual live action movie, but because Hollywood wanted to drum it up and make it more flashy and and Wendy and Richard were not going to allow Hollywood to corrupt their beautiful artwork. So instead, they got together with a different company who suggested audiobooks with different actors doing different voices. So I was like, cool. And I started. I think I'm up to the episode where React challenges Cutter to the wand challenge that had hardened. I forgot what it's called. It's been so long since I've read the book. Um, yeah, but the challenge wand for Lita's hand, even though Lita is fighting recognition, which I'm sorry you can't fight that once soul meets soul. That's in story. Um, but I'm glad you guys are having a conversation while I'm just talking my brains out about ElfQuest. Like I said, you get me started with that ElfQuest or other things that I'm really passionate about. There's no stopping me. Um, I just go on and on and on. Um, hmm, oh, talking about Australia, the land down under, the home of one of my biggest. Uh, Not only was he a yeah, the spiders. Some of them spiders are like scary, but Australia is the home of Stewart Irwin and his family, and I was a big fan of his. Not only can the spiders make you sick down there, they can literally put you out of your misery in a heartbeat. Um, Especially the funnel web spider. Do not mess with that sucker. Um, because the funnel web spider is very poisonous. Um, Carolyn, Canadian girl. Caroline, not Carolyn. How you doing? Um, oh, one of the funniest lizards from Australia is that frill neck lizard. That lizard that puffs out this like fan around his head and stands and literally runs across the desert on two legs. That first time I saw one of those, I was like, "What the heck?" You know, it's like, "Oh, we're in prehistoric creatures." What are you doing tomorrow? What am I doing tomorrow? Well, that's still up in the air. Um, the tentative plan is if Jerry's feeling well, we're going to work in her craft room to get it fixed up so she can start doing crafts because she has a ton of different ideas for the holidays. If she's not feeling well, I'm going to come in here and try to clean it back up. It kind of got cleaned up and then thrown into disarray because of just so many other things that needed to come in here or I wanted to come in, wanted to use for in here. Let's see here. I don't like spiders, and I was putting out Halloween decorations and jumped when I saw a plastic. That's a really pretty bad phobia there, Caroline. Um, but I'm not laughing because a couple of years ago we had gotten a Halloween decor, and I did not realize what exactly it did. Um, but Jerry had put it up, and this was like years and years ago. It's probably either back in New York when we first got it, or right after we got here to Missouri, and we wanted to get some decor because we lost a lot of our decor. But it was a gargoyle, and it had motion sensors. So she set it up and went inside, and I was still working on stuff um, outside, and the thing went off, and I just went, you know. But yeah, Jim, do you go to a lot of different schools? Did I? Yes, I did go to. Every time we moved from that, every time we moved from location to location, it was a new school. So every 3 years, I felt like the new kid on the block because we went to just different places. Um, so I did go to a lot of different schools. I mean, when we were in Germany, I was we weren't living on base the whole time. We lived on base for 1 year, but I was still going to the American school on the air base. It was not a military school. It was like any regular, ordinary American school. The only difference was is the difference between the American schools and the school in Germany was 2 year advanced difference. So basically, when you moved from the states to Germany, you were basically put back 2 years, and that screwed me over. I knew I had enough educational problems, but that screwed me over again. And then when we went from Germany back to the States, when we got back to the States, I was pushed back 2 years because of that screwy difference. So my education through the school system was really shitty, to put it mildly. Uh, Tokyo Ghetto. Okay. Jim, yes. Venomous little creatures, spiders can be, yeah, especially in Australia. Uh, Jim, does your work let you dress up? No. Basically, they said that if you wanted to put something on for Halloween, it could be only a Halloween type shirt. I can't fully dress up for Halloween like I would love to do. So yeah, that's not gonna be that's not gonna be a no go. That's not gonna be a go. It's gonna be a no go. Uh, if so, what are you going to be? Well, like I said, they won't let us. They won't let us put a Halloween T-shirt on, which I don't really have a really good Halloween T-shirt on. Let's see. I seriously gotta shut down. That's fine, William. I wasn't expecting you to be this long. So good night. Have a good day, or good night. I'm thinking about day because Margaret is entering the 3 a.m. hour, and I'm over my hour, so I need to be shutting down pretty soon myself. Um, Jim, how was it living on the air base? Well, living on the base, the 1 year we lived on base was kind of annoying because it was an 8 story building, and unfortunately, our apartment was all the way on the top. And the stairwell, you can hear every door close. You can hear the main entrance at the bottom floor open or close. So it wasn't the greatest. I mean, granted, we had fun, especially that winter. I have a story about that winter. Let me just tell you this quick story about my 1 year living on base in Germany. We were living on Germany the second year of our 3 year stay. The first year was living in an apartment in one of the local villages, so I had contact with a lot of the locals. Um, but this particular winter, all the families that were living on base housing, the various different um, apartments. Ugh, um, it had just, I mean, it dumped a good 2 maybe 3 feet worth of snow. I can't remember how much snow, but it was a lot. And so everybody came out on the weekend after it snowed, and there was plenty of snow to play with. We were taking bread pans. Accidentally, I ran upstairs and grabbed one of my mom's brand new bread pans, filled it with snow, and turned it into an ice block so we can make walls and ice forts and whatnot to have snowball fights. Well, one of the one of the things that we saw there in our parking lot, because the parking lot was pretty clear, and all the vehicles that were owned by people were cleared off except one vehicle. Yeah, a Volkswagen Bug Blue. Well, we didn't know where it was, and nobody thought to look underneath this tremendous mound of snow. Uh-oh. Well, I was like, oh, this looks like fun. I climbed up one end of the mound and slid down the other. And when I slid down, I was like, whoop, wee. Didn't think nothing about it. Just we were all having fun. We weren't concerned about anything. Nobody was getting hurt. Nothing seemed to be getting damaged. Yeah, that was mom's Volkswagen Bug. When spring came and the snow melted, it was like, oh, there's the bug. Funny thing about it was the top and the hood had that nice indentation where all us kids were sliding down the front end of the bug. Funny thing was, the glass never broke. Yeah, the glass never broke. At least not to my remembrance. But yeah, I see it coming. Exactly. It was like, oops. And nobody could get mad at any of us. We just all, I mean, me, dad, maybe even mom, I don't remember, just laughed our butts off. Because, like, okay, that's where the car is. Oops. Um, oh, we can show that. You're right, James. I thought I was going to get a nice whooping from it, but I don't remember if I did. I just remember a lot of laughter and a lot of okay. Guess where the bug was? But it was just too funny. It was just too funny. I think it was so funny that nobody thought about discipline. Like, how do you discipline a bunch of kids who did not know? Nobody knew. My dad, my mom, nobody knew. We were just too busy having fun to even think about it. So it was just kind of like, oh. So yeah, next year if we're here, we need to make sure we know where all the vehicles are before we start playing games. But it was fun. But it was just one of those. Oh yeah. Um, Now we know where everything was. But I just I'm just glad we had fun in Germany. I mean, the 3 years we had in Germany was beautiful, fun, and whatnot. Only children get away with a lot. I was middle of three. Okay, well, yeah. Um, the thing is, it was not drivable and had to be towed away. Was that before our fun in the wintertime, or was that after? Because if it was after, I was just like, yeah. Mom remembers a lot of the stuff what we did over in Germany. I think Germany was one of those 3 year events that we couldn't really forget that much about. I mean, um, a lot of things happened during that 3 years. And granted, it was after the 3 years, 4 years that we spent in Arkansas, where we were like, "Yay, we're out of Arkansas," because there was too many problems in Arkansas. Um, I mean, Germany, we found out I had a lazy eye, and I ended up having to wear a patch over my good eye to correct my bad eye, and it was also the first year we lived here when we were living off base in a little town called Altley. Um, I was wearing glasses and a patch over one eye, and um, first time I've ever seen like large amounts of snow. I mean, in Arkansas, we got like maybe a little dusting, and that was it. Nothing to go. But we were outside our first winter at in Altley, and we were playing around in the snow. And I was trying to learn how to make snowballs, which I really couldn't. I was having so much trouble back then making a snowball. And my father had um, tossed. He didn't really throw it that hard, but he threw it hard enough to startle me. But he called my name, and I turned around just as I turned my head around to see what my father was up to. Snowball right in the eye, right in the glasses. Just like, no broken glass or whatnot. I was just kind of like, yeah, from the surprise. And then, yeah, I had to wear glasses for a while. Um, Ever since that day, I've been trying to find a way to create a get a nice snowball ready so I can throw it at my father in retaliation. But that never happened. I just had trouble wearing those gloves and trying to do this with a snowball so it would be a little bit you know more solid instead of like as soon as I tossed it, it broke apart. Um, yeah, I was the reason why she got gray hair. Especially, I don't know when she started getting gray hairs, but I know in Germany I was a combination of a wild child and just having fun. I was a kid. I was in my element. Germany was like my favorite place to be. Loves loves it here. Right now he's at my side watching your video. He sends you and Darian in all of his regards. Well, I return that favor. Send him my regards, and like I said once to you in a message after a video, you guys decide to stay in Germany, I will be the first person to be knocking at your doorstep saying, "Hey, neighbor," because I keep on signing myself. If I had ever gotten enough money to move out of America to a different country, it would be either somewhere Scotland, Ireland, Britain, or Germany. Um, the only downside for me in Germany would be relearning, relearning the language and getting a job. Um, of course, I know my mom. If I were to live in Ireland, Scotland, or Britain, my mom would be moving with me. And my thing is, I always thought about, if I moved, if I had been able to or am able to move to, especially Great Britain, um, the only problem I would have in Great Britain is learning how to drive on the other side of the road. And I can, anytime I get a holiday or something like that, I can go to Norway or Germany or any of the other countries in Europe that I've been wanting to go see for a while. Shouldn't you be, Jim? Shouldn't you be in kissing your wife about? Yes, I'm about ready to get off, so I can lay down and you miss yours. You know what? The month and a half or whatever it was that Jerry Ann was in St. Louis at the hospital for her femur operation and the stay in the rehabilitation hospital drove me batty. And any weekend I could, I would go up there to live. Northern Ireland if I could stand the cold. Mom, I don't think you'd be able to move to any part of Ireland or Scotland or even Britain without having to deal with the cold. Um, it's 54 and cloudy. Yeah, I know. This coming Monday, our highs are going to be like low 50s to 1 or 2 days within where they'll get up into the 70s, but our nights have been extremely cold. 59 in Jersey. Anyhow, I'm going to start shutting down because I do have to go to bed. It's 17 minutes after my point that I wanted to get off, but I was just having too much fun. So let me bid you guys a good night and oh man, excuse me. Bid you guys a good night and hope you have a good rest of your weekend. I will do a vlog tomorrow morning, and no, I gotta take it with me. I'm going to read some of this book that I've been wanting to read, which is the lost books of the Bible, and maybe tomorrow we'll talk about it or I'll critique it. What I read tonight. So I hope you guys. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you guys, but I think it will be very interesting. Um, so, good night. See you guys in the morning. Bye.